Next, I'm going to do the computer guess function, def comp guess. No parameters needed. This one's going to be real easy. All it's going to do is create a list with three things in it, R, P, or S, and then it's going to randomly choose one of those and return it. So li choices equals R, P, oops, P, or S. And then it's going to return random choice li choices. So print comp guess oops, forgot my parentheses. That's what happens when you don't call a function properly. There we go. So now every time I run this, it's going to randomly choose R, P, or S. Okay? So far, so good. So now I've got user guess and comp guess. So next, what I need to do is do the judge. Okay, the judge is going to take two parameters. It's going to take the user guess and the computer's guess, and it's going to compare them to see who won. Okay, so if I say def, I'm going to say who won. And who won is going to take two strings as parameters, strc, and actually I'm going to say stru and then strc. And what happens, who wins, is based on the comparison of those. So I have to put something that mirrors this kind of structure. So I want to say if the user chose rock, what happens if the computer chose rock, paper, or scissors? Okay, so I'm going to say if stru equals rock, and inside that, I need to ask myself what happens if the computer chose rock, paper, or scissors. So if strc equals rock, wait a minute, I think there's an easier way here, right? Because there are three conditions that are essentially the same here. And we can check for them all really easily. We can say if paper or if the user's guess and the computer's guess are ever the same, it doesn't really matter if it's rock, paper, or scissors. If they're the same guess, then it's always a tie, right? So we can eliminate 1/3 of the options right here. So first, let's do this. If strc equals stru, then we return, and I'm just going to return a T for tie. Okay, just a T for tie. Else, in other words, if they're not the same, then we have to start figuring out what's up. Okay, so else, and inside that, I'm going to say if stru equals rock, and then I'll say elif stru equals paper, and I'll say else, and we know that that means that stru, notice I'm commenting this out because it's just for me, equals s. Okay, so that's there just as a note to myself, pass. Okay, so there's my big structure. Those are the three in black over here on the left-hand side where I say rock, paper, or scissors. So now I need to say what happens if I choose rock and the computer chooses paper. Well, the computer wins. Okay, so for each one of these, there's two possible choices. So if STRC equals, we already took care of the tie, so this is just paper. And this would be scissors, right? So I'm going to say in a note, STRC equals scissors. Okay, so now, so if this is the case, if I choose rock, the computer chooses paper, the computer wins. Return computer won. We're returning a C for computer wins. And else, I'm going to return U for the user one. So this takes them both, looks at them, and decides who gets the point, or does nobody get a point if it's a tie. So now I'm going to take this structure and I'm going to copy and paste it and just change the letters. Okay, so if I choose paper, the computer must choose what to win? Scissors, right? And if I choose paper and the computer chooses rock, then I win. And then the last part, one more time, if I choose scissors and the computer chooses rock, the computer wins. And if the computer chooses paper, then I win. So there is every possible, right? That's every possible combination is now taken care of. Either they tie or one of these other 6 combinations happens. I've explored every possibility now, and so that's good. So now I can play one round of this game. I can just roll these up. I don't even need to know any more than that because I know what these return and I know what they require as parameters. So I could actually say print, and remember I can nest these. I'm just going to say who won, and I'm going to say user guess, comma, computer guess inside that. So what happens now is this works from the inside out. It's going to start here. It's going to say, okay, let's call the user guess function. Whatever the user guess returns will be put right here. Then it will call the computer guess function, right? Whatever it returns will put right here. Those will go into these two parameters as RPRS and RPRS, and it'll call the who won function, which will return either a T or a U or a C, depending on if you tie or the user wins or the computer wins, and it'll print it out. So that's what we've got so far. Let's run that and see. Choose rock, paper, or scissors. Choose rock. So that was a tie. Okay. I can run it again. I'll choose rock. I won that time. So it doesn't say what the computer has chosen. So that would be nice to know. So if I do this, I can say, I can play with this a little bit. I can say, let's say str choice equals. So I'm going to put that into a string. And then I'm going to say if str choice equals R, and then we'll print the computer chose rock. LF str choice equals paper. Okay, we'll just finish these out. We've got paper. And if it's not rock or paper, it must be scissors. Okay, so now if I run this again, I chose rock, the computer chose paper, and therefore I won. Okay, so pretty good so far. Now all I have to do is get this into a structure where I can do this. So let's figure out what that structure needs to be.